Most people who meal prep for muscle growth are actually killing their gains. You know the exact image: 6 identical plastic containers lined up on a kitchen counter. Inside each one is a dry piece of chicken breast, some plain white rice, and sad, mushy broccoli. By day 4, the food tastes like cardboard and your body is struggling to break it down. You end up ordering a pizza, feeling guilty, and wondering why your muscles are not growing despite your hard work. I am going to show you exactly why that traditional Sunday meal preparation method fails over 80% of the time. More importantly, I will reveal the exact food preparation strategy that actually builds muscle faster. This is not just theory. This is the exact method used by top fitness models and athletes to stay consistent, eat fresh-tasting food, and force their bodies to grow new muscle tissue every single day. Make sure you pay very close attention to every word, because in a few minutes, I am going to explain a biological concept called protein pacing. If you miss that part of the video, even the best food in the world will not help you grow. Let's start with what does not work and why. Making fully assembled meals for the entire week on a single Sunday afternoon is a terrible idea. Why? First, food starts losing nutritional value the moment it is cooked. By day 5, vitamins in your vegetables are severely reduced. Second, there's a psychological problem called taste fatigue. Your brain gets tired of eating the exact same flavors day after day. When you experience taste fatigue, your natural appetite drops. If your appetite drops, you struggle to eat enough calories. To build muscle, you must eat more calories than your body burns daily. If your food is disgusting by Thursday, you will naturally skip meals. When you skip meals, your body stops building muscle and actually starts breaking down existing muscle for energy. That is a biological fact. Furthermore, mixing wet food like cooked vegetables with dry food like rice in the same plastic box for several days makes everything soggy. Your digestion suffers immensely from eating old, mixed food. If your digestion is bad, you cannot properly absorb the protein you eat. If your gut is irritated by old food, the protein leaves your body as waste rather than building tissue in your chest or arms. The traditional meal prep method only works for a small group of people who have zero sense of taste. For the vast majority of us, it is a guaranteed path to failure, frustration, and tiny muscles. So, what is the most reliable option? What works for over 80% of people? It is a highly effective strategy called modular meal prep. Some people also call it buffet-style prep. Instead of cooking complete mixed meals in separate little boxes, you cook big batches of single ingredients and store them in their own airtight containers. To avoid any confusion, you must never store these ingredients in open bowls or unsealed plastic where air gets inside. You must use airtight, sealable glass containers or high-quality plastic containers with strict locking lids. For example, you make a massive container of just rice or potatoes and lock the lid tightly. You make a massive container of just your cooked meat, like ground beef, turkey, or chicken, and seal it completely. You wash and chop up a large container of fresh vegetables, but you absolutely do not cook them yet. You're essentially creating a fresh food buffet in your own refrigerator. Why does this modular strategy build muscle faster? Because it gives you absolute control and keeps food tasting fresh. When it is time to eat, you simply take an empty plate and build your meal from scratch in seconds. You take 1 big scoop of meat, 1 scoop of rice, and a handful of fresh vegetables. You heat the meat and rice in the microwave and maybe quickly throw fresh vegetables in a hot pan for 2 minutes. This process takes exactly 3 minutes, but the food tastes exactly like it was just cooked. Because the food tastes amazing, you will actually want to eat it. Because you want to eat it, you will easily hit your daily calorie goals. Because you hit your daily calorie goals, your muscles finally have the heavy building blocks they need to grow larger and stronger. Before we dive into the advanced timing secrets and the famous 3-day rule, I want to ask you for a quick favor. If you are already realizing how much time and potential muscle you have been wasting with soggy 5-day-old chicken, please hit the subscribe button right now and give this video a like. My single goal is to bring you the absolute truth about fitness, guaranteed. And if you are truly ready to build serious muscle this year, I want you to go to the comments section right now and type the exact phrase, "No more dry chicken." It helps this channel grow rapidly, and it proves to me that you are highly committed to your own success. Let us get right back into the strategy. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned protein pacing. This is the ultimate secret weapon for maximum muscle growth, and modular meal prep makes it incredibly easy to do. Muscle building is not a light switch that stays turned on all day long. When you eat a good amount of high-quality protein, your body starts a biological process called muscle protein synthesis. That's just a scientific way of saying your body is currently building new muscle tissue. Think of it like hiring workers to build a brick wall. The protein is the bricks. But here's the major catch that most people do not know. That muscle building process only lasts for about 3 hours. After 3 hours, the workers go home and the muscle building completely stops. To build muscle as fast as humanly possible, you need to turn that process back on. You need to call the workers back to the job site. This means you need to eat a solid serving of protein every 3 to 5 hours. But listen very closely, because this is exactly where people get confused and ruin their health. Eating every 3 to 5 hours does not mean you should be constantly snacking. If you eat continuously without clear breaks, your insulin levels stay elevated all day. Elevated insulin causes fat storage and insulin resistance, which destroys your body. You must eat 3 or 4 distinct, separate meals spaced out perfectly with zero snacking in between. You eat your modular meal, let your insulin drop back to baseline, and then 3 to 5 hours later, you eat your next distinct meal. With Modular Prep, you can effortlessly assemble a high-protein wrap, make a quick bowl of ground beef and rice, or grab a scoop of pre-cooked chicken from your sealed container. You keep your body in a constant state of growth while keeping your insulin sensitive and healthy. Now, here is a massive rule you must absolutely follow to protect your health and gains: the 3-day rule. Never ever leave cooked meat in your refrigerator for more than 3 days. After exactly 3 days, invisible bacteria begins to grow rapidly on the meat, even if you cannot see or smell it. This bacteria causes minor stomach inflammation. You might not even feel sick, but this internal inflammation completely ruins your nutrient absorption. If you cook enough meat for 6 days on a Sunday, put half of it in the tightly sealed refrigerator containers and put the other half in airtight containers in the freezer immediately. On Wednesday night, simply move the frozen meat from the freezer to the refrigerator so it slowly thaws out for Thursday. This trick guarantees your food is always safe, perfectly digestible, and highly effective for muscle recovery. Now, let us talk deeply about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your body's preferred source of energy. If you want to lift heavy weights to trigger massive muscle growth, you absolutely need them. But the exact time you eat them matters greatly. With Modular Meal Prep, you have total flexibility. You should eat the vast majority of your daily rice or potatoes in the meals right before and right after your workout. This pushes the energy directly into your muscle cells when they are empty and desperate for fuel. If you do not work out until the evening, your breakfast and lunch should be mostly protein and healthy fats with very few carbohydrates. Because you are using the buffet-style method, you just scoop your food accordingly from your big sealed containers. No carbs in the morning, just scoop the meat and veggies. High carbs after the gym, double the rice. You cannot do this if your meals are already locked and mixed into tiny plastic boxes for the week. Modular Prep gives you the power to adapt your food to your daily life. Now, what about flavor? The biggest reason people abandon prepared food is extreme boredom. Because you store your large batch of meat completely plain with just salt and pepper, you can easily change the flavor profile every single day. On Monday, you add barbecue sauce to your beef and rice. On Tuesday, you add soy sauce for an Asian-style meal. On Wednesday, you add hot sauce and taco seasoning. You are eating the exact same muscle-building ingredients, but your brain genuinely thinks you are eating at a different restaurant every night. This simple psychological trick has an over 90% success rate in keeping people flawlessly consistent. Let us also discuss the best types of foods to use for this specific strategy. Not all foods survive meal preparation well. For protein, ground beef and chicken thighs are infinitely better than chicken breasts. Chicken breasts have very little fat, meaning they dry out incredibly fast in the refrigerator. Ground beef and chicken thighs retain their moisture, so when reheated, they are still juicy and delicious. For carbohydrates, white rice and roasted potatoes are the absolute best options. They reheat perfectly in the microwave. Brown rice can become very hard and pasta can become very mushy. Stick to white rice and potatoes for the highest probability of success. Who exactly is this modular strategy for? It is perfectly designed for anyone who wants to build muscle but has a busy life, a full-time job, or goes to school. It is also incredibly effective for losing body fat because you simply scoop less rice and more vegetables onto your plate. The daily system never changes, only the portion sizes change. Are there any limitations? Yes, if you strictly prefer eating complex, slow-cooked meals like heavy stews daily, this method might feel too basic for you. Also, if you live in a shared apartment without enough refrigerator space for large, separate, airtight containers, you might struggle to fit everything inside. To completely summarize this powerful system, you must stop making tiny individual meals that get soggy, gross, and lose their nutrients. Instead, cook large amounts of single ingredients twice a week. Store them in separate, high-quality, completely airtight containers with locking lids. Build your meals fresh on a plate in 3 minutes. Keep your protein coming into your body every 3 to 5 hours by eating completely distinct meals with zero snacking to protect your insulin sensitivity. Always freeze whatever meat you will not eat within 3 days calories to protect your gut health. Change your sauces daily to trick your brain and prioritize juicy meats over dry meats. This is exactly how you eat for maximum unstoppable muscle gain without losing your mind or hating your diet. If this video opened your eyes and gave you a highly practical strategy that you can actually use in your kitchen today, I need you to do me a massive favor. Share this video with just one friend who always complains about their diet or struggles to build muscle. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and to prove you are one of the rare few who made it all the way to the end, drop a comment below saying the exact phrase, modular muscle. I promise you, if you apply this exact buffet strategy consistently, your body will completely transform, guaranteed. Get into the kitchen, prepare your food the smart way, and keep building.